Brad Pitt's $35 million strike against Angelina Jolie marks the final battle over Chateau Miraval. Brad Pitt has launched a $35 million blow against ex-wife Angelina Jolie, seeking damages and demanding the disclosure of key internal documents in their long-running legal war over the Chateau Miraval winery. The December 17th hearing in California is expected to serve as the decisive finale, a showdown of pride, power, and legacy between two of Hollywood's most iconic figures. The $35 million turning point. Nearly a decade after their separation, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie still cannot escape one another. Chateau Miraval, once the setting of their fairy tale wedding, witnessed by their 6 children, has become the core of a 3-year legal dispute. Pitt accuses Jolie of breaching their agreement by unilaterally selling her stake in the property. He is demanding $35 million in damages and has asked the court to compel Jolie to release 22 internal documents. The upcoming December 17th hearing in California has been described by legal experts as the final chapter in the Rosé War, where all secrets may be exposed and a 10-year saga brought to an end. As the case drags on, Angelina Jolie appears increasingly drained. In an email to her legal team obtained by Financial Express, she confessed, "I need to rid myself of this stress. Honestly, I'm sick from anxiety." Once admired as a symbol of independence and resilience, a humanitarian, mother of 6, and embodiment of Hollywood's soft power, Jolie's image has faded. After nearly a decade of relentless litigation, she appears weary and diminished. Her acting career has also lost momentum. Since the divorce, Jolie has devoted herself to raising her 6 children and running her fashion label Atelier Jolie, occasionally directing films, though none have generated substantial profits. Her Miraval assets remain frozen amid ongoing proceedings, tightening her financial position. A close friend told Vanity Fair, quote, "Angelina once had everything: fame, talent, influence. Now she carefully budgets for her kids, while every court letter feels like another heavy blow." End quote. Jolie retreats, Pitt rises. Beyond financial losses, Jolie has gradually withdrawn from Hollywood. After her 2016 accusations that Pitt was physically abusive on a private flight, a case that was later closed for lack of evidence, her once powerful star image has dimmed. The former Hollywood powerhouse now lives a quieter life centered on her children. Her public appearances, often marked by somber expressions, draw sympathy from fans, but also underscore her exhaustion. Vanity Fair wrote that each court hearing is another wound deep enough to break even someone as strong as Jolie. Meanwhile, Brad Pitt is regaining ground. Once branded an abuser, the 61-year-old actor is now reshaping his public image as a winner, both in and out of court. Following favorable rulings in Luxembourg and Los Angeles, Pitt has emerged as Miraval's largest shareholder, holding 50% of the estate, while Jolie Group owns 40% and the remaining 10% is held temporarily by the court, LA. From this position, Pitt effectively controls the winery's operations and brand direction. Beyond the courtroom, Pitt is also reclaiming his reputation. His upcoming Formula One film with Apple Studios is being hailed as a major comeback, and the media have praised his renewed charisma at 62. As People put it, quote, "Pitt is winning not only in court, but also in the court of public opinion," end quote. The magazine added that Pitt's legal team is executing a dual strategy, strengthening his case while managing Miraval's brand story and reinforcing his own public image. Meanwhile, The Hollywood Reporter observed that Pitt's team appears to be prolonging the process strategically to maintain advantage and apply financial pressure on Jolie, turning the $35 million claim into a decisive strike. Analysts suggest that behind the $35 million figure lies a deeper conflict, a struggle to redefine power and public perception after a decade of tabloid warfare. By portraying Jolie as having violated agreements, secretly sold shared property, and withheld key emails, Pitt aims to erase the image of the abusive husband Jolie once accused him of being. Jolie, meanwhile, seeks to reclaim the narrative of a woman standing up against control and alleged abuse. Yet as she loses ground in the Miraval case, her reputation and finances may both be at risk. Thus, the Miraval lawsuit has evolved into more than a property dispute. It is a battle over who gets to define the past. Fans of both sides remain fiercely loyal, awaiting the court's verdict. Why Brad Pitt is taking Angelina Jolie to the end. According to People, on October 29th, Pitt formally sued Jolie, seeking $35 million in damages for breaching their alleged agreement not to sell her shares of Chateau Miraval without mutual consent. Pitt claims that both parties made a verbal and written pact that neither would sell their stake without the other's approval. Yet in 2021, Jolie secretly sold her portion to Tenute del Mondo, a subsidiary of Russian billionaire Yuri Shefler's Stoli Group. Pitt's lawyers labeled the move a financial betrayal, accusing Jolie of attempting to sabotage their shared legacy out of post-divorce spite. In a 286-page filing, Pitt's legal team wrote, quote, Mr. Pitt invested millions of dollars and years of effort turning Miraval into a global brand. Miss Jolie's unauthorized sale to a third party is a blatant violation of their agreements. End quote. A source told USA Today that Pitt views the lawsuit as a way to protect his legacy and personal dignity. For him, Miraval is not just a business, but a symbol of recovery after his struggles with alcohol. Brad Pitt couldn't stand to see Miraval, the place that meant so much to him, fall into someone else's hands. This case is his way of regaining control of both his assets and his story, another insider told People. Jolie's counterattack. Jolie's camp quickly hit back. Her attorney, Paul Murphy, called the lawsuit, quote, a continuation of the harassment and control she has endured for years, end quote. He said Pitt's filing does not address any real legal issue, but instead relies on speculation, aiming to violate Miss Jolie's privacy and exert emotional pressure. In her own submission, Jolie argued that no binding legal agreement existed preventing her from selling her shares. She maintained that she had full ownership rights post-divorce and accused Pitt of using the courts to prolong control and dependency. Jolie further claimed that Pitt once asked her to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, to silence her about the alleged 2016 abuse, a request she refused. She believes this refusal sparked Pitt's hostility in subsequent property disputes. Pitt's representatives denied this, insisting the NDA was merely a standard business confidentiality clause meant to protect commercial information. Yet legal analysts argue the issue transcends business, that in this context, the NDA symbolizes control and the broader power struggle between the former couple. What lies ahead? By late October, court filings in California had reached nearly 300 pages. Pitt continues to demand that Jolie release 22 internal documents related to her Miraval sale, while she invokes attorney-client privilege to withhold them. Pitt's team calls this an abuse of privilege to hide evidence. Jolie's team counters that Pitt is weaponizing a commercial lawsuit for personal leverage. A trade law expert told Financial Express that Pitt is playing a long legal game, seeking to set a precedent that forces Jolie to accept financial responsibility and disclose the documents. Jolie, in turn, is using the law as a shield to protect deeply personal matters from public scrutiny. The public hearing scheduled for December 17th in California may finally decide whether Angelina Jolie must pay the $35 million in damages and hand over her internal emails and contracts related to Miraval.